Hello again, everybody. Got a little bit done tonight, but it's kind of late and kind of cold, so I'll save some for tomorrow. But I wanted to show you this. I did get one 832 hex head bolt drilled, got the hole marked, well, marked before, and then drilled out and tapped. As you can kind of see, the dirty part is about 3/16 of an inch deep. So that'll be one nice connection. Naturally, I'll be cutting excuse me, these bolts off before I install the rear boiler mounts. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the process for somebody who's new. It could be helpful. I mentioned a jig yesterday. I want to show you what I made. This isn't exactly what Fred and I were talking about. What we've been talking about, different ideas for drilling straight holes when you've got something, a surface like this. So what I did, I just took a hunk of aluminum here, and I drilled a number 29 hole. That's the tap size drill for the 832, and then I drilled a clearance, a number 17 hole down here that I used. The top hole I used for drilling the actual tap hole, and then the bottom hole I used as a guide basically for running the tap in, just getting it started anyway. So it's going to be hard to show you how I did all this one-handed, but from the initial pip marks that I had made yesterday, I took my trusty industrial center punch. I made sure I ground it fresh, made sure it had a very sharp point on it, and I used a big hammer, and I enlarged basically the centering marks from the little pip marks from the transfer punch. So I made some good sized ones, and then I took a number 1, if I can show you over here yet, well, number 1 center drill and the handheld electric drill, and I opened up all 4 of the holes here. I got down to the conical part, and the point being there that you want it deep enough so that it is basically allowing the drill, it's acting as a pilot for the actual drill bit for the let me show you. I can show better than I can explain it. Let's see. So, whereabouts? Grief. There we go. Well, handheld drill. Here's the number 29 drill. And I was going to make a depth stop thing. Then I realized I've got a bunch of woodworking bits, and you can see what I've got here. This is a center drilling one that you would use for counter drilling, or counter sinking rather, excuse me, into a woodworking project. See, there's even some residual wood stuck in there, but I just I took that off the woodworking drill bit that I had, and I reversed it, and I set the depth here. Well, it's going to be impossible to show one-handed, but maybe if I set it over here, just lay it down. How's that? Set the depth. There's the number 29 hole. Set the depth so that about 3/16 was sticking out. Hopefully that's clear enough. I'll put that in the light a little bit better. There you go. So with the block clamped in place, I used a big C-clamp that I have. There it is, hiding under the boiler over there. Clamped it in place. I used the drill bit to line up the hole for the number 29 hole. It didn't have to be exact, lined up with the boiler or anything. Clamped it in place, and then I went ahead and drilled out my hole, and then I just moved it. I used the tap and the little tap holder, moved the guide block so that the clearance hole was in the place, and reclamped it, made sure everything was lined up, and I went ahead and started my tap, and I used an ordinary, you can see my 832 tap set here. I used an ordinary tapered tap to get started, and then a bottoming tap. See, I've got this one reversed. This is the bottoming tap to go ahead and cut the threads close to the bottom of the hole. So that was a little process I did tonight for the first one. I'll get the other 3 tomorrow, hopefully. And thanks for watching. I'll keep you posted.